What's up, gamers? We're back at it. Oh no. We hired some child labor. Big fish! Big fish! Big fish! One of those monsters that are just kind of annoying. Not difficult. Kind of tedious. There's no escaping me. How dare you think you can get away from me? Alright, maybe you can. It's not going anywhere. That was it. It just ran around in a circle. Did a little circle for no reason. So Spotify Wrapped just came out, and I was cracking up at mine. Let me try to pull it up for you real quick. Hold on. I hear a cat. Hello. I now have cats. She's so pretty. So let me give you some highlights to my Spotify Wrap. I thought this one was pretty cool. Pixie Shred Swan Core Season. Editor, reverse that in post. Oh, there was something on here that I thought was really funny. My top 5 songs, I was expecting, you know, it would be like, oh, here's your number 1 song, here's 4 others that are like so different and cool and stuff. But no, turns out, all the songs that are my top 5 are just off the same album. I don't know why I found it so entertaining, but it's just, it cuts to this. It cuts to this. Editor, use your magic. It's all the same album, same pictures. Shout out Bring Me the Horizon, by the way. Amazing band, if you didn't know. But, you know, it really kind of kills the hype when, it's the same album I was listening to on repeat over and over again. Like, I've listened to so much music this year. I mean, I listen to a lot of music every year. It's probably the least music I've listened to in recent years because I'm not in college anymore. And I used to constantly listen to music 24/7 while in college. So my numbers were actually rookie numbers for once. And even then, I pretty much will always put on, like, the Discover Weekly every week whenever it comes out and listen to the new songs. And I'll listen to, like, my, what are they called, Discover Dailies or something, those daily playlists they curate that always have different songs on them. They usually end up having all the same songs anyway. So it's not like I only was listening to the same thing over and over again anyway. It really states out with all top 5 of my songs are off of the same album. And it's like, wow, I really must not have been listening to that much variety then, I guess. or I just got really hooked on one album in particular. But the thing is, I feel like I listened to their newest album more than I listened to that album this year. I think, let me get the name of it. This one, Post-Human Next Gen. I listen to that album like crazy on repeat constantly. Get it? It's the other album. Granted, I love that album. Probably like that one more than Post-Human. But for different reasons. One is like insanely good metalcore, and the other one is like electronic metalcore, which is so cool. Gilly Mansell. Dude, Toby Kadachi is such a sick monster. I think the armor's got like evade stuff on it too, so I might actually try to grab that. You know, I said in the first video I was gonna use Insect Glaive, but the Green Goblin mask is really calling out to me here with the Switch Axe. I might end up switching to it anyway, just because I think it's a really cool weapon. The thing with the Switch Axe though, is it's really hard to use. Like, it's not an overly complicated weapon, but it feels kind of stiff, a little rigid, especially when it's like defensive stuff doesn't really exist. It's all about evading, except the evading on it can be really wonky. Like sword mode, your dodging is terrible, and axe mode, you just kind of get locked into every animation possible. But man, the weapon is so cool. And they just put some more info out with Monster Hunter Wilds. They've been kind of drip feeding like press leaks, not leaks, but like they've been putting out more press like stuff on it, people getting recordings of the game. It sounds like it's shaping out really good. The developers have such a W mindset of, rather than nerfing the best weapons to the ground, we are going to balance the other weapons so that they are also really strong. That gets me excited, because they specifically pointed out a few weapons. They said Lance, Sword and Shield, Switch Axe, Insect Glaive, I think. Those were like the four major ones I can kind of remember. And I mean, I'm excited to see what they cook up, because all of those are incredible weapons to me. It's a flying squirrel. This monster is really cool. I remember fighting this for the first time and just thinking, it's really quick, which makes it a little hard, but also, wow, I really like its design a lot. I mean, for starters, my favorite color is blue, and it's got a really nice shade of blue. But it's also like this super agile, flying squirrel, fox thing. I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of getting sauced up right now, actually. Low rank's supposed to be easy. He's not being nice to me. Calico, you're saving my life right now. Dude, what? Dude, this thing has some crazy large hitboxes on it. I just need to lock in. I think that's my problem. I gotta lock in. Man, this low sharpness is terrible, man. Oh, he's very frail. He was kicking my ass and he's already on death's door. It started really rough and ended very quickly. I'm surprised I didn't cart with how the beginning went there. Excuse me, sorry about that. Upgrades, people, upgrades. We're already hunting on Angina? Oh, we are. And I've already proved we can do this. So let's do it again. But this time, better. I believe this quest, Rathalos shows up. It does a turf war with the Angina. It's like a little scripted thing that usually happens. Unless I'm just wrong, which is possible. Let's do it. Fought this once, kicked my ass, but I killed it. Fight it twice, this is gonna be light work. Alright, promise you that. Editor, please don't show me dying. Dude, how'd that hit me? No shot. They got stunned. Something stunned it. Let's go. Light work. It's already running away from me. Oh my god. Grinkle Pop, no. Oh, son of a... No. You can't do this to me. No way. Oh my god. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. I'm just too good. What can I say? Just too good. You guys ready to see something unfair? No! Bit off a little more than I can chew. Oh my god. Oh, dude, come on. Oh, I got greedy. So greedy. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. It was one hit from dying. It was one little hit from dying, and it killed me. 3-star quests are done, apparently. Are we already doing a Zorah Magdaros mission? We are. This is where we're ending this video. We're gonna repel the Zorah Magdaros.
Get to your posts now!
Godzilla! Alright, fun thing about this mission, you actually don't have to do anything at all. You can just walk around. But that's kind of boring, so I'll at least do this. Not thinking. I'm too tired right now. I don't know if there is like any actual benefit to doing this quest, because I'm pretty sure you can just wait the timer out. Or not even a timer, it's just on rails. You wait for Zorah Magdaros to go all the way through and then it's done. Riveting gameplay, really. Yeah. Kick his ass.
Is there a mission for us? Who is that high lord? Who'd kill a million of us? And as the bell tolls.
This really goes on for a while, huh? Dude. This is peak gameplay. Editor, can we get some hype? Put some hype on screen. Screen? Screen. It's me and you, chat. We're hanging out, okay? This is a time for us to bond, talk about our deepest insecurities. For instance, I'm really insecure about how hot and sexy I am. And you're really insecure about your feet. So I went to school for physics. Physics is pretty cool. And one thing I learned in there that's a little bit mind-blowing is this thing called quantum tunneling. And it's been stuck in my head lately. So it's time for me to share with you, not very detailed, but detailed enough to get it across what this concept is. Obviously, this is quantum physics. After all, it's called quantum tunneling. I had to do a little research on this. Now, to put it in layman's terms, it is essentially, physicists have essentially figured out that if you take a particle like an electron, it can essentially phase through solid objects, for lack of better words. Alright, we got some gameplay, actually. We'll get back to that in a second. So essentially, they found that particles like an electron can phase through solid objects. And again, we're talking on a quantum scale, so these are things that are like super incredibly omega small. It's basically impossible for any like ordinary person to kind of comprehend this, even myself, because I have never actually been able to do like hands-on research with this. These are pretty much, for all things considered, unbelievable discoveries in science and just the world in general. And what they were able to figure out is if you excite an electron. Now, exciting is pretty much a fancy term for saying give some energy to an electron. And you have it encased inside of really thin walls, right? We're talking, again, quantum scale here. So very, very thin walls that you give it some energy and it can suddenly kind of just phase through it. Pretty neat if you ask me. What I find to be especially interesting about quantum tunneling is that this is something that we've discovered can be reliably recreated, enough so to the point that this is something used in everyday electronics. An example being your phone, something you use every single day, or computers, like I'm playing on right now. Now, ToneMeisterFlex, you might be asking, how is it that this is something we can use in our everyday life? Well, it's actually kind of simple. If we're able to reliably recreate the conditions needed for an electron to just kind of phase through a solid object, we can control where that electron will be. In order for that particle to actually phase through the object, or phase through the wall, it needs to be given enough energy to do so. So if you don't give this particle any energy, it will stay within the walls that it's in and not leave. Now, this is incredible for many reasons, but for these specific reasons, because what I was researching is kind of how like hard drives and solid state drives work and stuff, you know. This is one of the techniques used inside of hard drives and everything to get them to work the way they do. The benefit to having your particles stuck inside these walls and you can easily manipulate where they go is that even if you turn off the device, that particle will always be inside that wall. Now, of course, if you want to get kind of fancy and more technical with it, technically there's like a lifespan to it. If it doesn't get excited for long enough of a time, it could kind of like dissipate essentially and sort of disappear. But to put in very simple terms that are easier to understand, the particle is going to be trapped in those walls until it is given energy to be able to go back through the wall. And this is really cool because you can give it energy through one side. Editor, give me some imagery here to help show the viewers what's going on. If you have the electron, let's say in a box here, editor, you're gonna have to do this for me, in a box here, and you give it some energy from down below, what it wants to do is move away from that energy essentially, because let's say, you know, it's gonna move away from that energy source if we're giving it the correct energy, like positive or negative or whatever. It all depends on the particle and stuff. So we give it whatever energy from down below that sort of repels it up out of the box. So now it has enough energy, it dissipates through the wall, and it can pop out into this other box above it. And now what we can do is the opposite. We could then say, hey, I want some energy to excite it, repelling it in the opposite direction now. So what I'm actually going to do is pump some energy from above it and push it back into that box below. And as long as you don't give it energy, it's just going to stay in whichever box it is you have it in. But now the big question is, how is this practical? What is this actually accomplishing? This is perfect for computers and technology when they work on binary code, right? Computers work on binary. It's a series of ones and zeros. So, in other words, we could kind of write it a little bit like this. That top box could be a 1 and the bottom box could be a 0. Essentially like an on and off. So if we were to say, hey, we want this box to be ticked, we could give it some energy, send it up above. Editor, I'm relying on you here. And now all of a sudden we have a 1 displaying on our computer as an input. Now even if we turn off the device and turn it back on, that particle is going to stay inside of there. And that is how we can use it as a sort of hard drive. It will store the memory there. And then if we were to want the opposite and say, hey, we actually want to tick this box off, we want it to say 0, then we can repel it back with a different energy and push it right back. And again, turn it off or on, doesn't matter, it will forever be there. And to me, that's some pretty cool stuff, right? You can have this particle stick around and act like binary code inside of a computer, because you can use something that kind of detects like, hey, is there a particle in this box, or is there a particle in this box? And it's like, alright, if I detect the particle in this top box, I know that I can sort of flick the light on, right? I can turn this on, that's now a 1. Now, because we're talking on a quantum scale, you can have like thousands of these in the tiniest, tiniest bit of space. It's insane. So essentially your phone and stuff has like hundreds of thousands of these pretty much. Any sort of hard drive or SSD is going to just have an abundance of these particles trapped inside these little boxes, essentially, acting as a sort of memory. And that's how you can kind of have a storage device nowadays. I find it so fascinating, because that's some crazy technology, right? We have been able to advance far enough that we can trap particles however we want, essentially, and manipulate them in whatever way we want. That kind of just says, hey, this is now just some sci-fi level stuff that we figured out how to do in real life, and we use it in our everyday life to the point that it's like affordable for people to purchase and use.
No! It's Nergigante! Oh my god!
Nergigante is here to learn about quantum physics. He's here to learn about quantum tunneling. Oh my god, he's a nerd. Nergigante is just a massive nerd, can you believe it? That or he hates physics. He's actually here to stop me. This guy's the fucking goat, man. Anyway, if you were to ask me any of the math behind that kind of stuff, all I know is Schrodinger's equations are used in it, and it's really complicated, and I don't understand it that much. It's some pretty crazy stuff. Quantum physics in general is some pretty crazy stuff, because a lot of it doesn't really make sense to like a normal person. I mean, physics in general doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Have you ever heard of like, you've probably had to use imaginary numbers growing up in like middle school or high school, right? Quantum physics uses imaginary numbers because the concepts in it are so insane that they don't make sense unless you start using imaginary numbers. You need to be able to take negatives of a root, because the numbers you're getting are that absurd. And that's the only way to be able to compute some of this stuff on this level, because it's beyond pretty much any of our understanding of reality. Hey, that made that quest bearable at least, huh? I hope you learned something. If you have any questions on it, don't ask me, I can't explain. Just look it up on your own. Maybe use Wikipedia and it'll teach you a little bit. I'll give you one more little fun fact. You know that whole Schrodinger's cat thing? Did you know that was actually Schrodinger mocking people? Something he came up with to kind of show the absurdity of some of the thoughts out there and what kind of happens in some of these ideas in quantum physics. And he essentially said, this is so stupid, I'm gonna write something that makes no sense at all. And he ended up like winning prize. Hold on, we're doing a quick research on the fly right now. So Schrodinger's cat, the thought experiment he kind of created to show the absurdity of quantum physics, and was basically like, nah, this stuff is crazy and you people don't understand it at all. And to me that's funny, because he's like, yeah, don't take this seriously. Except now people do take it seriously, but they don't actually understand what the thought experiment is supposed to mean in the first place, right? Like, if you don't know, Schrodinger's cat, the thought experiment, is saying a cat locked inside of like a steel cage or whatever, a steel room, is with like a radioactive atom or something radioactive in it. And it's supposed to parallel to quantum physics because particles can kind of exist in two different states at the same time until they're observed. So he essentially said, hey, in a very absurd way, if you were to lock a cat in a steel box and put some radioactive material in it and then walk away, and just walk away, is the cat dead or alive? And he's saying you don't know until you actually open the box and look at it. That cat is both dead and alive at the exact same time until observed. And that's how quantum physics is a parallel there, because you have to observe the atom to know what state it's in, and you kind of assume it's in both states at once. It's very complicated, but it's insane to think people kind of took it really seriously and were like,
Oh, your cat in the box, the Schrodinger cat, it's this massive, big brain metaphor thing.
it's like he was just making some absurd stuff for the sake of it, and everyone kind of ran with it, and now they're like, this is the biggest thing.
This is the biggest cat. This is the biggest cat in the whole cat universe.
That ends my little physics talk of the video. If you learned something new, let me know, or don't. This is the end of the video. Subscribe, comment, bye.